Good evening, everyone. My name is Tommy, and thank you very much for tuning in. Tonight, I am revisiting my Songtember song that I started the other day. For those of you that are wondering what Songtember is, it is basically an initiative set up by Pete Johns over on Studio Live Today, where basically throughout the month of September, he challenges you to write, record, and release a song. And you don't have to, but for fun I thought, well, wouldn't it be good if I documented the process and shared it with you guys so that you could see how I write songs, how I then mix them and then release them. I've just realised I'm looking a little bit red on this, so let me change that a little bit. What do I need to do? I need to maybe bring the saturation down a little bit. There we go. I'm looking a little bit less red. There we go. Looking a little bit more natural there. So yeah, I'm going to record, write and release and document it along the way. And if you're interested in music production or GarageBand or even a bit of Logic or BandLab, check out Pete Johns' YouTube channel. He's got a whole community there. He shares people's music once they've recorded it. He's got a really good platform if you want to get your music heard and get lots and lots of tips on how to do things right in GarageBand. Now, my challenge is I'm going to try and use as many free or stock plugins that are already built into GarageBand, because I want to try and show that you don't have to pay loads of money on these plugins. Yes, you might get a great sound out of them, but they're not 100% necessary. So, where was we the other day? I had a chord sequence idea, and I got that down. I had a very limited set of ideas for lyrics, and we played about with a bit of drum, and I basically tried to get across to you what my overall image is for the song. And what I wanted to do tonight was try and expand on that. I've had to think about how the song should end, because I'm very aware that there isn't an ending at the minute. It just kind of stops, and I've got an idea about a middle eight. Now I'm probably going to need to re-record the guitar section again from start to finish, but again, because we're very, very early in the stages of this recording process, even that's probably not going to stay right until the very end. We're probably going to need to do it again with my actual acoustic guitar or my electroacoustic, because this electric guitar just isn't going to provide the right sound. And essentially, this is just a kind of recording of ideas for the moment, just trying to figure out what sounds good, what doesn't sound good, and then once we've got a solid foundation of the right tones and the right instruments, then we can start to chop and change and take little bits out and put little bits in and start to put little embellishments in there, and then we'll go on to mixing the session. So just to give you a bit of a recap, refresh on your memories of the kind of sound that we're heading for, it's a bit of an acoustic-y kind of feel. Doesn't really feel very acoustic-y at the minute because, like I said, it's the wrong type of guitar. But essentially, this is where we were up to. Remember that? Shining brightly, do you see them? So it's that kind of feel, and that's what I'm hopefully going to try and get down tonight. But first of all, let's get this guitar done, because I feel like it needs a middle eight. It needs an ending. Now the song is in the key of G, and the verses and the chorus usually go through G, C and D, and then there's a little section, a tiny little bit of E minor in there. So I was wondering about the middle eight. Just get the guitar out. This might help elaborate what I'm thinking about. So I had a few ideas going through my head about how could this middle eight sound. You can hear that. Okay, that's cool. So the song is in G. And there's a lead up in the pre-chorus, but the actual chorus chords at the moment are G, C, G, D to C, then back to G. So it's the same as the verse. Now, I was thinking about where I could go from a middle 8, and you know, it's very tempting to turn the song minor and jump straight to an E minor. So you'd go from chorus of and that sounds fine, but I didn't really want to do that, so I'm going to jump back to the D chord, which is the 5th in the scale, and then work my way from D into a minor sound, because I just think it sounds a little bit obvious to jump from G to E minor. It's a little bit overused. Now, I'm not saying that what I'm going to do isn't overused, but it's just I don't think it's as obvious. So you'll see what I'm going to do. I'll just jump to the end where it needs to be added. I've got a few extra bars of drums there. So let's see where we're up to. These 3 make me feel like this is the pre-chorus. So I'll go from that bit. Ba, 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 ba. No, actually, because the D is going to be the next chord in the chorus anyway, and it just feels like I'm changing to the chorus a bar early. I didn't think about that, did I? What if I change the chorus chords up a little bit? So it finished on the C instead of the G. Okay, let's try that. If it works, I'll change the other choruses. So give myself a count in. To mute these, don't I? Let's try that again. back to the G works. Okay, let's try that actually. I like that. So D to C to E minor, back to G, back to E minor, to C, finish off on the D, and then back into the chorus. Okay, I like that. So. That go? Sorry, I got myself a little bit lost. I just wanted to give myself a little bit of space so that we could fade out naturally. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds all very fast, quite high tempo, same kind of strumming pattern, and it was a little bit difficult to do it there, but I'm thinking we'd go for the chorus. And then open the song up a little bit, like. It's not even the right chords, is it? So going half time or just opening up the drums a little bit, but I'm quite happy with that for the time being. Let's get some lyrics down. That's the next thing that I want to do, lyrics, because like I said, I've got some ideas for lyrics, and the ideas that I had were, initially it was, I'm a star shining brightly, can you see me? I'm the calm in the ocean, can you feel it? But thinking about it, I was thinking that sounds a little bit self-centered, and I don't know why it came into my head. It was just, I thought it was a nice kind of, I'm like the calming influence, I'll bring you down kind of thing, that kind of message. So I thought about whether I could flip it and make the song about someone else. You're a star shining brightly, so you're the calming influence, you're the beautiful thing, if you like. But thinking about it a bit more, I'm thinking maybe the song itself can be about taking in what's around you and being in the moment and just relaxing and just living life kind of thing. And I thought we could flip the first verse and make the first verse talking about being aware and are you noticing these things that are around you. So I thought it might be a good way to say, a good thing to do, where we flip it and say, it's the stars shining brightly, can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean, do you feel it? And it's just raising that question with the listener, are you taking notice of what's going on around you, kind of thing. That was my initial thought anyway. I do have an idea for a second verse, and the lyrics for that were you there when the walls came down around our feet? Do you care about the here and now? Pick up the pieces. And I thought that might be a nice way to flip the song on its head in verse 2. Instead of talking about, are you aware of what's happening? Flipping it and talking about the person themselves. Are you aware of what's happening inside you? And then the pre-chorus and the chorus can be a bit more of the vague message around, taking it in, living life, breathing, just soaking it all in, not wasting time. That could be the overall message, but I thought they might be two good ideas for the first and second verse. So, like I said, nothing is concrete. It might not stay, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to at least get the idea down. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I am going to add a new track in here. It's going to be a microphone track, and the instrument is connected to my Yeti. I'm going to use a different microphone this time round, just because I was a bit worried about having feedback or a double loop if I used this for speaking and for recording. So I'm going to move this speaker round, this microphone round, and bring out my trusty blue Yeti that I've used for vocals on all the songs that I've written so far. So let's move that around. Need some WD-40 on that arm, I think. And can you hear me? Yes, you can. I just said it needs a bit of WD-40 on that arm, just in case you didn't hear me. So this is the audio track, and the great thing about GarageBand is there's tons and tons and tons of presets built in to GarageBand. So you've got natural vocal, which adds a little bit of reverb. I don't know how I feel about that. That might be quite nice. Narrational vocal, if you are expecting, I guess, some kind of story or the news or something like that. You've got a classic vocal, which is really delayed. You've got a bright vocal. That feels a little bit high pitched though. That feels like that needs a a de-esser on it. You've got a telephone vocal, which could probably come into use in some song in the future, but I think I'm just going to go for the natural vocal for the time being. And like I said, the great thing is if later on you decide that you don't like that tone, you can just choose a different tone. So we'll go for this for the time being. I've got my trusty pop shield. I'm going to head over to the right parts of the song and we'll record the lyrical ideas and a few melody ideas as well. So let's go. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. Da 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 da. Were you there when the walls came down around your feet? Do you care about the here and now? Pick up the pieces. So that's all I've got lyrically for the time being. Now you'll see that lots and lots of high peaks, probably clipped a little bit, so we're not going to be able to keep that vocal anyway. We've got no intention to keep the vocal, but I just wanted to get the idea down just for something to work off. Now I'm going to turn this microphone off, bring this one back, and we'll carry on. Hello, I'm back. So we've got a guitar, we've got a drum which needs changing, and we've got this crystal spheres kind of like high-pitched twinkly pad. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the... So, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but in my head, I'm thinking that guitar rhythm might be a little bit too busy. And I'm wondering whether we go for something a little bit more twinkly. And then as that drum comes in, just one long strum of the chord. So it would be something more like... like that. And then when it comes to the pre-chorus, we can then kick in with the... maybe. Now I've just realised I changed the chords in the chorus before, but didn't change them in the earlier chorus. So I probably need to do that really quickly. So I went from G, D, C, G to G, D, E minor, C. So we'll just do that, and then we can copy and paste it into the other chorus when we get there. Why is that not playing? Why is there no input coming in? Ah, it's because the audio is still set to Yeti. Scarlet, there we go. There we go. Now you might not even be able to hear me not playing that. So, yeah, rookie error. So, that was nice and easy. Cut that back to bar 41. We should be able to... is it still Command and C? I don't even know what the commands are on a Mac anymore. So that's the pre-chorus. Oh, we have done it because I recorded the new chords for the chorus here. So all we needed to do was that first chorus. Oh, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm wondering whether we get rid of this first bit here to the pre-chorus and instead let's get this Starlit Cavern. I need to unmute it. I was thinking about a chord. It's in G. With the stars shining brightly, do you see them? Brown. That comes in like that. Not as deep as that though. Let's try that. I quite like that. Okay, so helps if I get it. Let's put a click on. So it's bum 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 bum. 1 2 3 1 2 3. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. So let's turn that vocal down a little bit. So I like that. It's just something else would have to come in that pre-chorus because that picking isn't heavy enough to sustain a pre-chorus. I because that would be and then it would go to the E minor. I'd have to figure out what that is, but I quite like that. So let's try and accompany that with this, and what would that sound like? I feel like it needs to be something a bit crunchy. Let's duplicate this track. How do I duplicate it? New track with duplicate settings. That sounds right. So let's try a crunch. Turn it down a little bit. Too heavy. I wonder, did that? Yeah, it did record that Starlit Cavern. I need to rename the tracks as well because it's getting a little bit confusing. It's the stars. No. Shining. Okay, that tone's completely wrong. Let me record the chords anyway, and we can play about with the tone. Sorry, that just made me laugh. That was so ridiculous. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. So, I'm not happy with that. But let's just see if we can find a different tone for it. I'm sorry if this is really loud for you guys as well. Honk and Drive, I'm guessing that's some kind of like country style. Let's see what that sounds like. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? Okay, that doesn't sound terrible. It would sound better if I actually played the guitar better. So let's just try those chords again. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. So, yeah, it sounds a little bit too scratchy for me. So I'll need to redo that twinkly guitar as well, because I miss it here. There. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm. So I like the idea of a palm mute. But I still think it needs the brown behind it. Okay, so again, duplicate settings. We'll change this to... Old school punk is usually good for a palm muted. Power chords. Let's try power chords. It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. So, so it's C, D, E, C. So it's C, Okay, I like that. Now, the only thing that was confusing me is my palm mute was different rhythm to the kick drum. But in my head, I was thinking the kick drum isn't going to stay like that because I just want the kick drum to go boom, 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 boom on each beat, not doing that weird rhythm that does. So, let's just change this name to open strum. Change this to palm mute just so that I know what it is. change this to vocal. Change this to twinkly guitar. Change that to pads. And then we know what this is, drums. And I'm just going to move them around just so that they're together. Makes no sense having vocals in between. So let's go back to this and let's see if we can chord burner does sound nice. That sounds alright. Too distorted. It's nice though. That is quite nice. Sounds horrible. Let's try open strum. Let's try swampland. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. Okay, I quite like me saying then the pre-chorus. Right, okay. I'll put that guitar down. Let's see if we can sort this drum out. I need to be able to get to a place where it is just playing on the beat. So let's try 4 on the floor. I don't know whether 4 on the floor is a type of drum or a type of playing of the drum. It's the calm. Okay, so let's open this up. Let's go simpler. Don't know whether that'll be too. It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. It's the calm in the ocean. So it's weird because you think to yourself, well, why is it playing that? That's ridiculous. But if it was with the hi-hat and the snare, it makes sense. So hear it with the hi-hat and the snare, and that random bass kick drums sounds fine. It's the calm in the ocean. Okay, so that's where that comes from. But I want it so that can we get one kick drum on the beat and can I just copy and paste it? So I want it to be like duh, 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 duh. Yeah, okay. So what I want, see if it will work. Chop that. Let's delete this. Copy. Move the playhead to 17.2 and paste. And 17.3. Will that work? So this is the downside to the drummer. Based on who you pick and what style you want him to play, if he doesn't think there should be a drum played at that point, even if you paste it there, he won't do anything. It's the calm in your... So we might have to just key it in. Let's get the trusty MIDI keyboard out and let's have a play with that. Turn that USB on. And let's add a MIDI. And the input, is that coming on? Okay. I mean you can hear it, but it's not letting me pick it, so that's fine. So I want to pick drum kit. Now, if I knew what drum kit this guy was playing, I'd pick that drum kit, and maybe it's Googleable. Let's go down an octave. Sorry if that's super loud. Can you even hear that? Let me check OBS. Yes, you can. So, let's delete these. So I want to be like... Okay. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. Okay, you get the gist. Now the great thing with MIDI is you can quantize it. And quantizing means if you're slightly off the beat, you can say move it to the nearest one note, half note, quarter note, eighth note. So this is going to be quarter notes. And then I was slightly too soon. I started a bar or two soon, didn't I? That's the wrong slider. I needed to be on this one. So I needed to be here, I think. Can you see them? It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's 17 I need to be on. Shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so that sounds, I really like that. But it's evident to me that the palm muting was slightly off, probably because I was swayed by that weird bass drum. Now what I need is to find which drummer plays these drum kits, so that if I find a kick that I like, I don't want to program the drums for the whole song. I'll just get the drummer to do it, but I need to make sure that he's playing the same drum kit, otherwise it'll sound weird. So I'm just gonna do this palm mute, and then I think we'll call it a day for the night, because I think we've made some good progress here. There's probably just left to look at some bass and then to fill in the rest of the song and get some lyrics. But we've done well tonight. So palm mute. That's what I need to do. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. Help to forget the right chord. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you? That's not even the right place. Bloody hell, what's wrong with me? I need to call it a night. It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? Then the pre-chorus. Gets me every time. Right, okay, so let's delete this bit, and move this bit back. And I think we've got the starts. It's coming together. It's the stars shining brightly. Can you see them? It's the calm in the ocean. Do you feel it? how the drum completely changes compared to that Blue Ridge. So I'll do a bit of Googling, find out who plays Blue Ridge, and we'll use that. See if we can find, actually. Is it Anders? Change the drummer. Is that the same? No, it's not the same drum kit. That's not the same drum kit. Don't know. I'll find out. But yeah, okay. Let's leave it there because we've done quite a bit. And yeah, so what have we got? We've re-recorded. We've recorded the end. We've changed the chords for the chorus, and we've padded out that first bit, and we've got some lyrics down. I think next I'll try and get some lyrics. Next would be looking at the bass and looking at how we're gonna fill out the pre-chorus and the chorus. But yeah, I'm liking what we're doing so far. I will see you again in a couple of days. Thanks very much for tuning in. Remember, leave some comments in the comment section if you've got any ideas, advice, direction, comments, anything. Let us know, and I'll see you soon. Take care, guys.